Going to take a couple of quick looks around the area real quick before we move on too far along here. Let's go first way out west to Imperial, where we already had snow on the ground earlier this morning. It looks like the snow really starting to wind down. Didn't get a whole lot other than the grassy surfaces, which is what I think a lot of us are going to end up getting when this is all said and done. Central City, the snow had been starting to pick up here in the last few minutes, and I think it's really coming down pretty well now. Again, you'll notice even the grassy surfaces, not much snow accumulation right now, nothing accumulating on the streets. It's mostly just wet as that snow is melting, and that was kind of my big question this morning, is how much of this was really going to melt when it hit the surface, because it's April now. It's a lot tougher to get snow to accumulate in April than it is in March or February or January. Hastings, again, not much accumulation, just very wet conditions. Snow's continuing to fly at this point here, but again, it's just not accumulating. Grand Island, we are seeing some accumulation on some of the grassy surfaces and the rooftops. You can kind of see it there in the parking lot. The parking lot's wet, but the grass is covered in the white stuff, the snow right now. Another look at Grand Island here. This is our downtown camera looking towards the Hall County Courthouse, Highway 30 down below. You can see again the rooftops and the grassy surfaces where we're seeing most of the snow accumulate, but on the streets it's mostly just wet. Our own meteorologist Kit Cloninger, he's up in Grand Island, and he was telling us it was getting a little slushy in spots on the roads, but for the most part, not doing too bad right now. I haven't taken a look at the road conditions map for a little while now. You'll have to excuse us, it takes about 20 seconds to load up, so we'll kind of wait on that to load up, but I'm guessing most of us, the road conditions are doing okay. It's probably a little worse out in western Nebraska because it's below freezing out there, and so it's a little easier for some of that snow to actually stick to the roads. And again, yeah, you see the road conditions according to 511 Nebraska, and right now most of us are still in the green, which just means wet or normal right now. So a little bit in the Sand Hills up around Hooker County and I believe that's Grant County, and then around Imperial, Chase County, and Perkins County, there are a little bit of snow. In fact, from the Weather Service out in North Platte, they had a couple of snowfall totals earlier this morning here at the 10 o'clock hour. 1.8 inches just southwest of Grainton, which is in Perkins County, and that's the county just south of Ogallala. And then in Madrid, 8 miles southwest of there, they had 2.3 inches of snow. That's also in Perkins County, so very confined to those locations. The only other one they had was an inch, 1.2 inches, about 31 miles south of Valentine, up there in Cherry County. So again, for a lot of these areas, it's just wet, but not actually accumulating. So let's look at the latest radar here. And again, snow is falling pretty heavy right now around the Grand Island area and eastward. That's where we've seen some of the heavier snows. Aurora, in the York County, Hamilton County there, and then from around the Grand Island area. It has lightened up a little bit in Hastings, although there's a little more snow trying to get going just southeast of town now. Kearney, again, also lightening up a little bit, and might even trying to be changing over to rain a little bit, too, down towards the Holdridge area. So, again, it's just so close to being rain that it's really having a tough time sticking to the surfaces. It is starting to pick up out east in the Lincoln area a bit, and this is an area that's probably still going to get a little bit more snow than most of us, but south of there it's more rain than anything. So, again, because it's so close to that rain-snow line, it's really difficult for that snow to pile up. And so, because of this, I really think the snowfall totals are probably going to need to be brought down a little bit. Now, looking at the latest here, first off, we're going to look at those temperatures here. Again, temperatures are just a little bit above freezing for most of us, and this is why it's so hard for this snow to accumulate right now. Now, out west, it's a little colder, and so it has been able to accumulate in those areas where it's a little bit colder and below freezing in many of those locations. So as we look ahead to the afternoon here, again, snow, some of the heaviest is going to push into the eastern part of the state this afternoon. It's going to start to lighten up out towards the west, as it's already kind of doing so anyway, and then continue to lighten up from northwest to southeast through the evening hours. Winds will also start to die down tonight as well. So by midnight, most of us done, and then shortly after midnight, I think all of us are done with the snow. Quieter conditions with more sun expected tomorrow. Should be a better day. Cool, but at least sunny and not as much wind for tomorrow. So again, snowfall totals looking to be lower now. This is a new forecast model that came out just before the noon hour. Again, maybe up to an inch or so in the Tri-Cities. I just don't think we'll see much, and that's mostly grassy surfaces. I don't think we'll see much on the roadways. Southeast Nebraska, even there, I think the totals are going to end up being a little bit lower, and I'm still honestly surprised that the National Weather Service in Omaha